Welcome back to the channel. New car to show off today. This is my personal car, E60 M5 2006, 85,000 miles. I'll show you the odometer. So the S85 V10 power plant. This thing has full documentation from day one, from the purchase order, from the dealership back in 2006. All the service history, recalls, everything since then. A box comes with it, and then a spreadsheet of everything I've done since I've had it for the last four and a half years. Been a great car, no issues with it, runs really well right now. Oil changes ahead of service, cabin filters, air filters, all that stuff, spark plugs. So everything, every recent maintenance that needs to be done is done on this. It's ready to drive. And let's take a quick tour, check this thing out. All right, as for mods, not too much. H&R Super Sport, what's up, dude? H&R Super Sport lowering springs that I installed on it. The BCM Ram air filters in the front, and exhaust delete in the back with some welded on tips. Clean job, done properly. And we'll get a and a Hartge rear lip that's been added to it. So some just subtle changes, as well as Evolve Tune for 93 gas, which really kind of cleans up shifts, makes the non-M mode a little more sporty feeling. And interior mods, again, subtle touches. So the Coby steering wheel wrap, tri-colored stitching. I steam clean this regularly, and still feels super soft to the touch. It's about a year old, no signs of wear here. And Alcantara as well on the center console, because this is actually body matched, well, actually color matched to the seats, which I wasn't a big fan of. Wanted a little bit of a contrast, as you can see here. Breaks up the lines nicely, ties in with the Alcantara on the roof, and then I just painted. This was kind of that faded looking silver, so I used a Sherwin-Williams base coat on this with a matte clear, and same with the trim around the steering wheel. So really subtle touches. Other than that, fairly stock. Extended leather option on this, so you can see the dash, complete stitching, leather everywhere. Interior's in really nice shape. Floor mats obviously have some wear in the driver's side, and underneath, like where the Velcro is kind of worn away, but the rest of the mats, I mean, the surface of them look great. Kick panels are in pretty nice shape. You know, I detail, so obviously the door jambs, all that stuff are always clean on this. It's always protected, conditioned. Some things to note on the interior. This arm part, this arm pad was dyed, and there is some cracking here. But it was definitely dyed. Same with the driver's seat. The driver's seat's not bad, but it definitely has been dyed before, as with most of these light colored, these stone gray interiors, you know, once these things reach a certain age. So, but yeah, let's just check out the mileage here. We'll start up here. We'll throw the camera in the back so you can get a little better sense of the exhaust note. So, had a little taste of the exhaust notes, and then we can see the mileage here as well. So, yeah, like I said, everything's current on it. The only notice that I will get periodically, since all of the tail lights, well, not all of the backup lights are replaced with LEDs, and every once in a while it'll say the rear reverse light is out, even though it still works. But that's about it. So, everything is golden here. All right, so let's talk aesthetics, since this is a driver car. So wear items, you have plenty of life left on the tires. These were replaced about 4,000 miles ago, and no, I don't roast them off. So alignment was done properly, the balance was done, so you can't really tell because we got some nice fitment here. But even tread wear, and I mean, you have another 8,000 to 10,000 out of those tires. So aesthetics, when I got this, it had a front plate on it, And as you can see, I patched up the holes. I didn't want to respray the front bumper. If I was keeping this long term, I probably would respray the front bumper because, you know, it has 12 years of, you know, some peppering, some rock chips and things like that. You know, I've touched some things up, but it's not perfect. You know, there's a scratch here that has been, when I purchased the car, you know, just kind of gobbed in with some touch up. You're gonna have stone chips. The hood is actually in really nice shape as far as stone chips and paint is concerned. Everything else in nice shape. There is a hit here, little gouge on the sill. Not super noticeable, but when you get down close onto it, you'll see it. A couple more chips touched up here. And, I mean, aesthetically, I believe those are the main points of contention that I like to point out. There is a, door ding right here. So, this is perfect lighting to catch it. I don't know where that came from. The painless dent guy said that he'd have to, he could probably get it out, but had to put a small hole where the weather stripping was to get to it. I didn't want to deal with that. If it's something you're into, great, but hardly noticeable. I want to keep this body in nice shape. So other than that, we're pretty good. We're showing some signs, and I've put a ceramic coat on, but we show some signs of a little deteriorate. Well, so I finished these. I didn't want to sand them down too much, but there's, you know, you can tell that they've been refinished, the headlights here, because there's just some, it was, when I got it, it was really bad, kind of spider webbed and cracked in here. And this was before I was super good at headlight resto, and I just haven't went back and done it again. I've put a ceramic coating on, C-quartz, so hasn't yellowed or done anything since. And all of the weather stripping around the windows, yes, almost forgot this, replaced all of it. So weather stripping around the windscreen, weather stripping around the sunroof, and around the back window was all dry rotted, so that's all fresh. So, you know, all the kind of annoying things have been taken care of. But like I was saying, you know, it might not be a car that you want to get and put 15,000 miles a year on, but for an E60 M5, I think it's a nice example. All the annoying things have been taken care of. Of course, I don't guarantee anything long term. As always, it's an older car. You might drive and run into issues down the road, but right now as it sits, it's ready to roll. It's ready for duty, and this has been a very reliable kind of daily duty car for me. You know, everything has been properly warmed up before I accelerate and all that stuff, and you know, I feel good about the previous owner being, you know, an older gentleman who was fanatical about documentation, and that's really why I bought this car in the first place. Because you want to know the history, you want to know that it wasn't somebody that owned this, that lived right off a highway, you know, started up on a 20-degree day, and then threw down 8,500 RPM pulls, you know, before the oil warms up. Because it's 10 W60, it is molasses type oil, and it takes a while to warm up. I mean, my daily commute, it was, maybe it would hit operating temperature 10 minutes before I got to work. So yeah, I always took it easy, but made sure periodically, as you should, to open it up. You need to let these breathe, really, for the health of the engine. But that is a quick walk around of some points of contention, some things aesthetically, and then some things kind of above and beyond I just did to the car. So, and I have some more things to think of if, quite honestly, the engine bay is dirty. I'm going to detail it before it leaves, but it's a V10. It's all plenum, intake manifolds, if you will, with all the individual throttle bodies are covered. So there's not much to look at. It's dusty. I need to clean it off. I don't want to show it off how it is, but yeah, the car's ready to roll. You can see a nice shot here, the Alcantara. So any questions, anything special that you want to see about this car, obviously any other cars, the import consulting part of the business, anything like that, and local detailing, since we are adding that to the menu. So thanks for the time. Again, for more cars, to keep up to date with anything that's going to be coming in, whether it be JD, it's going to be JDM mostly. This, again, is personal ride, had to get rid of it for the truck. So, but yeah, keep track of the videos. I'm going to be doing some updates on the business, incoming cars, more walkarounds like this. So appreciate the time, appreciate a like and subscribe, of course. So as always, enjoy the drive, take care.